technically this should have been with a 3-term one, but I didn't go over this as a whole 5th period. I helped individually, and I'm like, yeah, we got to go over this 7th period, so I'm just going to record and put it added onto the video. Okay, so we are still taking out the greatest common factor. We can actually factor this one, and this is the, on your charts that I gave you, this is one that's going to have a coefficient with the first. Okay, we just didn't have a sample of that one on the previous one. Okay, so on number 12, what is the largest number I can divide out of those? 5. Okay, now when we're looking at x's, okay, we're looking at them individually. What's the max amount of x's I can take out? Right. Okay, and y's?
Y.
Just a y. I don't know. Okay, now write what's left. Okay, so 50 divided by 5 is going to give you 10. Started with 4, took out 2, so there's still 2, but there's no y's left. Okay, now I go on to my next one. So negative 5 divided by 5 is going to be a negative 1. Started with 3 x's, took out 2 x's, so there's still a x left. Started with 2 y's, took out a y, so there's still a y left. Okay, and then the last term, so negative 10 divided by 5 would be a negative 2 y squared. Y squared. Perfect. Okay. All right. So this is part of my answer, but this one I can break down further. Okay. So this is the one on your chart. On your chart it says coefficient with the first. Okay. So coefficient with the first, we're going to draw 2 parentheses. Okay, this follows the one that says last term is negative. So when the last term is negative, what type of signs do we have in here?
Plus, minus.
Plus and a minus. Okay. So I'm condensing what is in that line there, okay, to tell you how to do this. So in the first position, you are going to put your factors of 10. And my factors of 10 are 1 and 10 and 2 and 5. Don't ever start with the 1 and 10. Okay, this is just a plug and check. You have to actually check to see if you can get back to the original, okay? But don't start with the 1 and 10. Start with whatever other ones you have. So I'm going to start with 2 and 5, okay? And I'm going to put a 2 here and a 5 here. I'm not going to split up my x's and my y's until I know my numbers are in the right spot, then I'll put it back in. Okay, so that came from my first position. Okay, so now you're looking at your factors of your last term on your last position. Well, my only factors of 2 are 1 and 2. Okay, right now I just don't know if they're in the right spot, so I'm going to check them first before I put my variables in there. Okay, well I already know that this gives me 10 because I did that, so I'm going to check here. So 2 times a negative 2 is a negative 4. And then 1 times 5 is 5. What does that give me? What kind of one? Positive 1. And I need a negative 1. So my numbers are in the right spot. It's just my signs are in the wrong spot. Okay? So I'm just going to change my signs. So change my negative to a positive and my positive to a negative. Because the numbers are right. It's just my signs are wrong. Okay, so now I can go ahead and put my variables in there because I didn't have to actually erase the numbers. Okay, so now if I were to check it, the 2 outside ones, 2 times 2 gives me a positive 4xy. Okay, so put my variables in there now. And then that one times that one gives me a negative 5xy. And that gives me a negative 1xy. Okay. So that one's the only one that you really don't have a rhyme or reason to add or subtract and put them with the right sign. You just have to plug and check, okay, on the ones with the coefficient. So the ones that are on there just listed out all of the factors of 12, which there's quite a few of them. That's why that's a little bit longer. Okay, so this is your answer. Okay, so that is it. So I'm going to give you the notes. Make sure you cross off. I think I did like 8 of them with you so that you're not redoing